Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Well, did you know that astronauts have, up until now, used spacesuits that have inherited the same design as used in the historic 1969 moon landings? I know. Well, this week, NASA took the wraps of brand new spacesuits that astronauts will use in future moon missions. That's both made by and packed with the latest technology. Here to help us explore this is our resident tech expert, Bryan Smith. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Wow, okay, so we've been using the same spacesuit since 1969. Why is this? I mean, we've made so many amazing moves in technology that this is the first time that they've kind of been upgraded, if you will.
It's quite an interesting story in that if you consider that when venturing into space, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Okay, I hear you, yeah.
So it's generally the same premise is keep the technology working and try not to iterate or experiment with any unsafe features. Obviously, you're dealing with a quite delicate situation on the International Space Station or going into deep space. Yeah. So these new suits are actually packed now with a bunch of latest advancements and learnings from all the space missions, essentially all the way from 1969. What's really exciting about them is essentially they've really a learning curve experience from the original design. So on the number of features is entirely new heads-up displays for astronauts to communicate with each other. There are new and improved flexibility points to allow astronauts to maneuver in space. That's actually one of the biggest challenges they can face.
Yeah, because I mean, I've watched movies before, the last one being Gravity with Sandra Bullock, and it just looks like everything is so difficult to do, you know? And so what are the exact things that have been implemented that just makes moving around and maneuverability easier?
So one of the biggest challenges from the original moon landing that no one could really anticipate was that moon dust is actually really hazardous and infiltrated the original spacesuit. So if you happen to see one of them in a museum, you'll actually see moon dust on it.
Wow.
So the new suits have been designed to be pressurized and sealed and sort of minimize those points where moon dust or other sort of dust can interfere. They're also essentially moving towards a modular design. So what I mean by that is the original spacesuits were essentially designed per each astronaut. And NASA recently had a bit of an egg on its face in that it had to cancel the first female spacewalk because they didn't have enough spacesuits available that could have fitted two female astronauts at once. So the new suits essentially are modular that will fit both men and women, which is really exciting. And what's interesting is that NASA's actually learned something from the Russian space agencies in that Russian astronauts enter their suits from the back, whereas American astronauts have historically been sealed into their suits.
Oh, wow.
So the new system essentially is far more easy to use and offers that much more flexibility in space.
Okay, by when do you think we'll see these new suits actually being put out there?
So pretty soon. So there are essentially two suits. So there's an orange sort of flight suit, which is now pressurized, so astronauts can have oxygen delivered in space or on space missions. And these new suits are going to be used as soon as 2024. So NASA has a new range of missions called the Artemis missions, which will see us land back on the surface of the moon and see the first female moon landing in 2024.
Phew, exciting times, huh?
Definitely.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Bryan, for always keeping us up to date with what's happening in the world of technology. And of course, we'll have you back next Friday, just blowing our minds with all things tech news.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Stream Fireplace.
The Unwired, where humans go for technology.